Hey, morning guys, it's Thursday morning. Um, we're in Genesis chapter 32, and I want to continue with the story of Jacob as he wrestled with the angel. He wrestled with the Lord that night, and at daybreak, after they'd been fighting all night, we realized yesterday that you win when you lose, which is a crazy paradox, isn't it? But today I want to focus on that verse 26, where the angel says to Jacob, man, aren't you exhausted? It's daybreak, let me go. And then Jacob replies with this great reply. He says, I will not let you go unless you bless me. First thing, Jacob knew, as we've said before, there is no substitute for the blessing of God. You see, you can do things wrong and still get it right if you have the blessing of God. And you can do things right and still get it wrong if you don't have the blessing of God. The blessing of God is the key to every church, every individual, every organization's success in the eyes of God is found in the blessing of God. Now, the blessing of God, as we heard from Matt on Sunday, is not found in great circumstances. People say, hashtag I'm blessed. You know, that's not what the blessing of God is all about, simply because they've got money in the bank and the kids are doing well and everything is fine and it's raining on the lands. They say they've been blessed. Nothing against that. It's wonderful they're experiencing that. But the blessing of God, as Matt said so profoundly on Sunday, is simply the presence of God with you. That's awesome. And so when Jacob wrestled with the angel and he was saying, I will not let you go until you bless me, there was something deeper in his cry than just give me what I want. And this is what I want to talk about today. But the thing about it is, the lesson we learn. People, I think we give up too early. We give up far too soon in seeking the will of God and seeking the purpose of God and seeking to do what God does. I think we give up much too soon. Now, Jesus talks a lot about persistence. And he talks about persistence in the faith. He talks about persistence being a test of faith. And that's the test that we're talking about in this series, is it not? We're talking about the different tests that God takes us through. Well, persisting in your faith, persisting in prayer, persisting in Bible reading, persisting in fellowship. You guys have got to get back into church as soon as you can. You've got to persist in fellowship, because I'm thinking you're too comfortable at home. And fellowship and relationship in church is critical to the blessing of God. We have to do this thing together. Think about that one. But persistence in our faith and prayer is critical, totally critical in our understanding of the blessing of God. I want to read to you what Jesus said in one of his examples. He told a great parable, and you find it in Luke chapter 11, of the guy who went to bed and his persistent friend who came to him. In Luke chapter 11, here it is, Luke chapter 11. Then he said to him, suppose one of you has a friend, and he goes to him at midnight and says, friend, lend me 3 loaves of bread, because a friend of mine on a journey has come to me, and I have nothing to set before him. Then the one inside answers, don't bother me. The door is already locked and my children are with me in bed. I can't get up and give you anything. I tell you, though he will not get up and give him the bread because he is his friend, yet because of the man's boldness or persistence, he will get up and he will give him the bread, as much as he needs. So I say to you, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you'll find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks, the door will be opened. Which of you fathers, if your son asks him for a fish, will give him a snake instead? Or if he asks for an egg, will give him a scorpion? If you then know, though you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give the Holy Spirit to those who ask of him? I love that. I love the parallel here of what persistence looks like. Guy's gone to bed, man. It's such an inconvenience for him to get out of bed and to give him what he wants. But the man persists. People, that's a picture of how we should be in our prayer life, in our Bible reading life, in our fellowship life. Even though we sometimes think, well, I'm not getting anything out of this thing. Even though we think, man, it's such an inconvenience for me to do these things. Don't you know I've got other challenges in life? Well, I don't care about the other challenges in life. These overwhelm them. So don't play them down. We need to persist in those things. Take God up on the offer to prayer and to Bible reading and to fellowship and to sharing our faith. We need to be able to persevere. People, as you go through life, you will meet thousands. I have personally met thousands of people who once walked close with God. Man, they had a great, vital relationship, just, you know, so cool. And I look at them now and I'm saying, so what happened here? Well, they slowly let go of certain things. They slowly forgot their Bible reading and their quiet times. They slowly forgot to share their faith with their friends. And it wasn't long before they weren't even on the page anymore. Their religious faith was nowhere to be seen. It was something they put in the back cupboard, bring it out every now and then at Christmas and Easter. People, that's not how it's meant to be. Let's persist in our faith, persist in our prayer, and remember, there's no substitute for the blessing of God. I hope you get it. Cheers, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.